What's going on today, guys, and welcome to Eddie Studios. Let's talk about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, probably the best videography-centric smartphone I've ever owned. It is the best, but there's good and bad about every phone, so we need to talk about that. Now, this review, opposed to some of the other reviews out there, is going to be videography-centric, so that's why I really purchased this phone. But let's get into a little bit about just the phone aspect itself and what really I like about it as a phone, and maybe some things that are a little inconvenient about it as a phone. And then we'll go right into the video and photo modes on this phone and kind of what I think about it. I'm not going to get too in detail about specs because you can look up every spec on a phone, but I'm going to tell you the results and show you some results in footage that I've gotten from all 4 of the focal lengths, as well as we'll pop over to a fun little video I did with my daughters with one of the features that it has, and just kind of we played around with it, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it. But let's get into a little bit of the phone stuff right now. Alright guys, so as a phone, it's got a pretty fast processor in it. It's that 888 Snapdragon processor running on Android 11, so it's a pretty fast little phone. It's got 12 gigs of RAM, so as a gaming and fun phone to use, it really works awesome. So I'm not a big gamer, but I've been playing the Call of Duty on this phone because it comes with it, as well as there's a racing game on it that's pretty awesome that comes right on it and has all these gaming enhancement modes and stuff you can utilize. It has the ability to record yourself while you're playing, so you can do some live streaming while you're recording. And it has the other cool feature that's really awesome about this phone that has just set me off, because I do a lot of video watching and stuff on this phone, is the stereo sound system on it that's facing you. Not only is it stereo, but it has an imitation 360 surround sound that you can just kick on, and it sounds incredible. You can be watching a scene and hear all of the background noise feel like it's coming around you. I'm not kidding. I let a friend watch a preview for something on it, and he was like, "What is happening?" And yeah, I'm not kidding. It's actually really cool. And if you like to watch Netflix and stuff like that, and even with the gaming on your phone, it feels like it's coming from all around you. You don't need headphones. It's really neat. I don't know why other phones don't have the stereo style speakers facing you versus the speaker coming out of the bottom or the top. It's a little weird that they do that. That's a major thing that I really like about this as a phone, and as we all consume content on our phone. You're probably watching this on your phone. It's a very tall phone, so reaching one thumb all the way up to the other end while you're holding it and supporting it, a little difficult. You just hit the bar down at the bottom on the side, and it brings up your one-handed touch screen, and that makes it relatively easier to operate. Like I said, tall phone. It's skinny though, so it's not any wider than some of my other phones. It's skinny like a typical shorter phone, but it has that wide aspect ratio when you're doing video. Now, before we get into the photography and video side of this phone, I do want to say, get a case for your phone. Always have a case for your phone. You don't want to break it. Especially, I bought this phone outright, $1,200. So yeah, it's a little pricey, and you want to protect it. Now, this case is super cheap, $12. I'll put it in the description along with the phone and some other stuff that I would recommend with this phone. They will be affiliate links, so I would do appreciate you guys if you do make purchases through there. It helps me out. It's helping me grow this channel. But either way, I'm hoping you learned something, whether you purchase from my affiliate links or not. I'm here to help you guys learn something and make a better buying decision. This case, though, it's really nice. It's cheap. It still works with the wireless charging that the phone has, and I have yet to have it slide off my lap because it has a bit of a grippiness here. So I always set my phone on my knee like everybody does, and that's when the mistakes happens, when you're not paying attention, it slides off or whatever. So all right, get into the video and photography side. Let's open up the Photo Pro app first and talk a little bit about it. Then we'll get into Cinema Pro, which is where it really gets kind of crazy. In the Photo Pro app, which you can open with either hitting your shutter button on the camera on the phone itself or go into the app manually, you have basic settings. As you can see here, everything's pretty self-explanatory. You have your brightness and temperature. You have adding bokeh to it. You have single shoot mode or low and high in the continuous shooting modes, and they shoot really well. It files the low and high separate from a single shoot mode, and that's a little annoying to me because it puts them kind of by themselves in your gallery app, which you just go through, pick out which ones you want to keep, delete the rest, and then you can move it into whatever folder you want. But I kind of wish it would just put it in a folder to begin with, so you didn't have a cluttered up gallery app. Turn off that, and then we go flash modes. You've got like your red eye reduction, flash, auto flash, all that stuff. Pretty easy stuff. You can change your aspect ratios here. From here, so you're in basic mode, and you can switch over to video here, and then it gives you some basic video options. You can do your quick slow-mo. From here, there's like all the creative options. I'm not going to go into those guys because I'm trying to show you why this is a professional use camera. Let's go back over to photo real quick. Hit this basic button on the top left, and then you can switch into basically all the modes you have on a normal camera, like a normal mirrorless camera like this one, other than having aperture priority because it doesn't have aperture adjustment on it. But as you see, if you go into manual, you have so much you can do with it. So like your menu here is pretty intense. We're in menu, back out of menu, display, you can turn on and off your meter display, and then switch your lenses over here. You got 16mm, 24, 70, 105. All those can be switched through. So as you can see, it takes some pretty incredible photos, and the menu over here on the right hand side just kind of allows you to do so much. So I'm just going to click through some of them here, and you can pause and look at it if you really want, but I don't need to explain all of it to you guys. I just want you to see basically all of what this can do. This is your white balance stuff. We set up some customs. Like, it looks just like a mirrorless or DSLR camera in here. You can lock everything so you don't accidentally hit anything while you're going. And yeah, so I'm going to go back out. Let's go into the Video Pro or the Cinema Pro app, because I want you guys to see really the pro video stuff that you can do with this phone. So on the Cinema Pro app, it shoots in ultra wide, and that's pretty awesome. So it shoots ultra wide and allows you to go between the different lenses in here. And it gets really dark because I'm going to show me on camera. There you go. So there's me on camera in the 105. And let's just record for a second. And I'll play that back for you guys. And I'm shaky. It's hard to hold steady at 105mm, guys, but you can pretty much get the gist of it there. And that's an inside shot, so you know, like shooting indoors in bad lighting is not great. And bad lighting, I say by aiming away from me, but like obviously I'm lit, but aimed away from me, it's pretty not great lighting. So you got 16mm, 24mm, 70mm, 105. I do want to mention, so how this operates with filing your stuff is kind of cool. So it sets it up as a project. So right here, see where at the bottom it says all files, and then I have one file because I just recorded once. Well, if I hit record again and then just kind of record for a second, it's going to file that down there also. So it starts lining up your shots. So if you were creating a scene, you could create a project. I'm going to hit the top right 3 bars, and you can go open project, then you start like a new project, and you like scene, C-N-E, I can't spell, scene 1 or whatever, scene 1, hit done, hit OK, and then you would do all your recordings for scene 1 and do them in order, and then you can actually cut them together in it. So like, I'm just going to hit record, then hit stop record, and hit record and hit stop record real quick just so we can go over to that. And then you go to all files, and I'll hit it. It's showing me all the files, but I can go in and I can edit the video itself. So you could do like a photo capture from the video. You can trim it, basic stuff, but then you can like finalize your video and have a fully cut together video from just in here. It's very minimal, but you can get a rough cut of something done in here and then move it into a software that you want to actually do your edit in. Kind of neat. So may or may not be something you would utilize it for, but that's how it sets it up. Now, once you're in your file, you can't switch from 4K to 2K, which is your options in here, and you can't switch from 30 frames per second to 60 or whatever, but you can go down to the FPS down here and switch it to the 120 to shoot in slow-mo. So you can do that, but you have to change your file, or you have to change your project if you're going to do anything else. So it's really set up to kind of like organize files. And obviously you're not going to really plan to shoot a scene with multiple different frame rates in your scene. So that's kind of why it does it that way, I think. All these are kind of cool stuff. So white balance, you can custom, you can do auto. I'm going to kick to auto because I think my last custom was messed up. But if you do custom, you set it, and then that little rectangle in the middle is what you focus it on, something white, and then that's where you would set your white balance. So a lot like a normal camera, guys. And then you got your shutter showing up a little weird. So it says 180. I'm not really shooting at 1 over 180. It's the 180 degrees of shutter. And so if I click on it, you can see it's the 1 over 60, which is 180 degrees on my 30 frames per second. So it's pretty cool because it will automatically set this. If I have it set at 180 and I switch to 60 frames per second, it will automatically change that to 1 over 20 or 1 over 120, which is like nice. I don't have to actually mess with it. It knows I want the natural motion blur look of the 180 degree shutter rule. Yeah, if you wanted to change it, you could. Like I could change it to like a 90 degree, and if I'm going to shoot slow-mo, that might be what you want to do, because you might want it to not have as much motion blur in the slow-mo, so you get that super crisp slow-mo. And you got your display stuff. You can turn that on or off. Your level's at the bottom, so it's not like big in the middle of your screen, but you still have it. See, look, I'm level finally. And then memory showing me gigs now. I can change it so it shows how many minutes you have left. HLG is what it's going to record it in. Some apps and stuff don't recognize HLG format very well, so that's a little bit of a downfall. You may have to put it into a software, and then you might have to put it into a video software that transfers the HLG over to Rec 709 and go ahead and produce the project there and then share it to whatever app it is. Just because some apps don't recognize HLG's colors and really screws it up in the app. I've seen some complaints about that, and I just wanted to clarify, and it's going to throw off some apps. So you may have to put it in a software and fix that. Autofocus or manual focus on this thing's pretty awesome, and I did a full video on it if you want to check out the card. Otherwise, watch this little video that I did with my daughters, kind of showcasing this manual focus options on this.
Really gotta focus on this.
Celia, do you like my makeup?
Why does the focus always need to be on you? Get back to work.
I'm back!
So, pretty fun. We had fun with it. So basically how you do it though, guys, is the flags there, the A and B flags, are like your focus points. And before you shoot your shot, you set like your whatever focus, and then you move your little flag down there, and then you set your next focus, and then you move your flag there. And then while you're shooting, you can select like B, and it slides down to B. Or you select A, and it slides up to A. And then you can go under the sprocket down there and select how fast you want it to do that movement. Like, so cool, guys. My negatives, let's talk about real quick on this. Now, I talked about the filing of the way that it files your photos when you're shooting in the continuous shoot. That's a little bit obnoxious. But one of the main things that bothers me about this is that it does not have focus peaking at all on it. That drives me a little crazy. And doesn't have the zebras. And in the Cinema Pro app, it doesn't have your histogram. It does have the histogram on the Photo Pro when you're using the manual settings on it, but on the Cinema Pro, it doesn't have a histogram for some reason. Like, add the histogram. It's already in there for the Photo Pro, Sony, so add it to the video or the Cinema Pro app. There's no reason it shouldn't be there. And we need focus peaking. Like, if you're trying to do manual focus stuff, it's kind of useless if you don't have a good focus peaking, so you need to add that. And I say kind of useless, but I've had some pretty cool shots with it regardless, but it's so much easier with focus peaking, guys. So beyond that, if this helped you out and I covered some stuff in this video that maybe you haven't seen on this phone, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stuff on budget videography and mobile videography and photography and stuff like that. And leave comments on anything else you might want to know about this phone that I didn't cover. And I do want to say one other thing, because somebody had mentioned this to me, is to cover up the different lenses to make sure it's not faking the different focal lengths. And I have done that. It does not fake the focal lengths. The 70 and 105 is all done through this lens here. It's a periscoping style lens change, so it's very interesting. I'm not super technical with it. You can look on any of the sites they sell this phone and see the details on that. I'll put the link in the description for the case, the phone, affiliate links, like I said earlier, guys. If you want to purchase through there, it does help me out. If not, more power to you. I don't care. But best cinematography phone I've ever purchased and I've ever used, and I challenge another phone to come out and show me the difference. And I know Sony does have like the new Pro 1 that looks pretty badass, but that came out like just what, a month after I bought this, dang it. But no, I'm super happy with this and I'll be rocking it for a couple years now. Till next time, guys, check out this video right here. It's about why you shouldn't upgrade your camera and just learn to be a better videographer with the phone you have. Five little tips that'll help you out with that, i.e. your smartphone if you are using your smartphone to shoot. Until next time, guys, I'm gonna keep grinding on Eddie Studios. I got a couple videos in the mix, and go shoot something awesome and upload it and share it to Instagram and Facebook and anywhere you share your video stuff, guys. Don't be shy. Share your stuff and be proud. Peace out. See you later.